What's going on, everybody? We are back to once again enjoy this crazy series. Hunter x Hunter is back, everybody, and so am I. As always, the tradition is we're going to do the live reaction to Chapter 411 announcement with this crazy artwork of Sarai Nick holding what we believe is Pyro's head. Oh dear. But I'm going to have the waiting room out for a while, and actually I will I'm going to give people time to show up. So it's still the morning. I'm going to have the waiting room on for a bit. So we're going to have that. I'm going to play my waiting music in the background, my Sarai Nick theme. And I'll be back again in a little bit, and we will get started with this wonderful, wonderful series. I can't wait to see what Togashi's been cooking. It's going to be a really fun time. Let's get started.
Pathetic. My fate is seen. I see all. How fortunate that you're still alive. How fortunate that you're still alive. Pathetic. My fate is seen. I see all.
happy juices, they say. Up. All right. So, wow, the day is upon us. And before we go any further, I'm just going to make sure that I sound okay on the playback. And I'm going to chat for a bit to just give some more time as well. So just give me a second here. I want to make sure that I sound good. The playback. Seems a little bit more delayed than I remember. Maybe the settings changed in OBS or YouTube. Okay, I think I'm good. So, all right. Excuse me. Wow. So we are back here. Again, I'm staring at Saridnik holding what looks to be Pyro's head, which is always a fun return to the very cheerful and vibrant and bright arc that this is. Togashi is a crazy, crazy man. He, what are we going to see in this batch? And again, I'm going to talk a little bit now to let people show up. My schedule is not fixed, so it actually turned out better for me to try to hit the release today. Some days it might be the night, and some weeks it might be Monday after work. And that's just how it's going to be. But for the release of the batch here, the opening day, as you put it, this worked out better for me. So thank you all for stopping by. If you're watching this in the recording, I hope you have a fun time going through this one with me. You can see that I have a little bit of the page shown, but I really can't show you the manga for copyright purposes. I just don't want to take those chances, right? So hopefully, my goal here is to hopefully help you understand where I am reacting to this by seeing the edge. So that's going to help. You want to have it on your phone or pull up a dual monitor and whatever you want to do, but feel free to follow along however you prefer. So today I'm going to do my reaction, go through. Please forgive me. I may not remember every side character. It's just bound to happen. I know a lot about this arc. I've been doing it for over 10 years here. I've been caught up with it, but there are long gaps in between, and I'm not doing homework in between batches. There are some people who have put this under a microscope. They know every single character. They know I know enough to get through and certainly react to it, but if I do forget small details, apologies in advance. My big question, though, is where are we going to go in terms of timeline? Togashi left us with a cliffhanger that brought us to the future. And typically when shows or stories do that, it's like you have two directions. One is you just accelerate immediately from that point, building the crazy amount of momentum that you've developed, or you go back in time to explain what happened. I'm leaning towards the latter. If we just go right from where the last chapter ended, I'm actually going to be quite surprised. Or he may backtrack later on in the batch release. But I'm expecting we're going to have some form of recap leading up to martial law. And if we don't, a lot happened off screen. And that's my only, that's where I'm curious. So knowing the Nen lessons happened before martial law, right? This is also where Camilla's guards, to my memory, are about to get involved. We have Longhee and Tubepa and Karapika, that whole union going on, where we might have use of Tubepa's Nen Beast, potentially. We might get Leorio. Oh. Yeah, that was one thing I was saying was my biggest disappointment about this arc is Leorio's just uselessness. So I would really like Leorio to get something. Place your bets now if you think Leorio is going to even say any dialogue. Let's place the bets right now. Do you think Leorio is going to say anything at all? Togashi, please. Please do not disappoint the fans for our GOAT, the dad puncher, So what do I hope for in this match? I guess, what do I personally, CyClone, hope for? I hope that we do get through the martial law proceedings with the succession plan that Ben hatched. We also need to see where the princes are. I am so curious as to how Togashi wrote the escaping plotline where allegedly Halkenberg and Saraynik were on the run together and hatched the TSK-17 virus through Balsamico's body. We will see if that's true. I'm still doubtful. I still think there is a chance that Halkenberg and Ben are hatching a scheme together, because electing Ben's son and ending the war benefits both characters very much. And it is so like Togashi to basically, Halkenberg, the character that's taking everything on, realizes that he needs to find a peaceful solution. And all of this buildup and all of the rumbling and all of this crazy power ends up stopping the war without any further blood. That is such a Togashi classic. So the question is he going to do that? Or are we actually going to see the grand spread of violence and chaos? That brings us to Morena and Borkson. I am so curious about Borkson in particular. She's in my top 3 characters to watch out for in this arc, not just this batch. She is in my top 3 characters to watch carefully. Borkson could be the character that assassinates a prince, that somehow helps Krollo get the treasures, that helps in the Beyond escape plot or something. I'm just trying this is the type of character that Togashi could write into so many different plot-moving situations, because she's so unassuming at first. But we know she's extremely resourceful. She's willing to bend the rules for her own favor. She has her own ulterior motives, but she's being influenced by one of the most devious and complicated and just giant personalities in the history of Hunter x Hunter. So we shall see what that leads up to. If Borkson is the end-all be-all, is the Welfin of this arc. So I guess I'll also take this moment, if you're still watching or if you're here, I don't check the live chat during my reactions. I do not want spoilers, no offense. I go in as blind as possible, and I will chat and discuss after I react. It's a great time for people to correct me or help guide my it's happened before where I have just a thought going and I'm putting it, and then we end the chapter and the chat's like, whoa, wait a minute, go back and reread that. And I'm like, oh, well, if you reread it, maybe you're right. Maybe there's a different way of looking at it. So it's very helpful to have that chat and discussion afterward. And that's the best part of doing this. It's the interaction with all the fans of this wonderful story. And my little pocket here is just to celebrate it and spread the joy, get the energy going. I simply do this for fun. This is just really a hobby of mine. It's nothing more than that. But it's I think it's just an outlet for fun and entertainment and creativity and, a little space to get out of your day-to-day life. So if you are stopping by, thanks so much for being here and for taking the time to be here. I hope you enjoy it. And I love engagement and comments. So please, list your thoughts. If you're watching me during the reaction, type away, put stuff in. People will engage while I'm reacting. Then afterward, I will make sure that we discuss and chat, and I'll go through everything that gets brought up in the video. So I'm going to just do a couple more minutes of waiting. I know I'm staring at this. Literally, this guy is staring into my soul. Shyrinik, what are you going to do, young man? Well, somewhat young. He's probably mid-late 20s. What are you going to do? You Netero wannabe, you prodigal son, you. Shyrinik could literally just be getting a lifetime gym membership. Every time we watch this dude, he's just at the gym working out. Literally, the guy is just a gym bro. Oh, I got my Zetsu down in another half second. I'm just running laps here. Play, the Rocky theme song every time you see this guy. I mean, every time he's just with the sweatband on, and he's like, hitting ham steaks and stuff. Like, Shyrinik is just, what a character. What a sadistic bastard. Oh, so crazy. All right, the sound is still good, it sounds like. All right. I think I am going to hop into this. And again, these chapters take me about 30 to 40 minutes to read through, depending on dialogue, usually. And then I'm here for a good half hour to an hour to chat afterward. So these could be 1 to 2 hour sessions. I'm really excited. I got beverage to get me through here. Here's the spot for this special occasion. I rarely have these, but it's nice when we get a good chapter. And it's going to be a good chapter. We know that. But what's going to be in the chapter, I guess, is the question. All right, so I've been paused for about 25 or so minutes. So I think it is time for those of you who are here. Again, I am so ready for this. I hope you have fun. Let's explore, dive in, let the content wash over us as we try to figure out where this madman Togashi is going with this story. Let's dive in. Announcement. Day 12. Again, I think I get what he's doing. We are plotting ourselves before the funeral procession and watching how Halkenberg as Balsamico gets to Benjamin. I think that's what we're seeing here. Because literally, I see the situation. So here we go. 9th Prince Halkenberg's funeral procession will depart here at 1 p.m. and is scheduled to arrive at the Tier 1 funeral hall at 2 p.m. Remember something. We did not see this happen. We saw them bringing the casket up to Tier 1, but we never saw the aftermath of the funeral itself. So Ministry of Justice, they're getting everything ready. The will stated that the princes will be exempt from the farewell send-off in consideration of the succession battle. So a little bit of lore dumping here. A funeral of a prince does not interfere, obviously, with the succession war. I mean, duh, because all the princes are fair game in the games here. So here we have Balsamico. He says, I shall return after his personal guards have been disbanded and reassigned below tier 2. Well done. Thank you, says Benjamin. And Balsamicberg says, yes, sir. And we have, I'm just going to call him Halkenberg from now on. And Halkenberg is really, boy, that's a face of determination, right? He's walking down the hallway in the Ministry of Justice, and he is ready. And remember, this guy flexed in the Ministry of Justice. Now, this is also something where in Balsamico's body, can Halkenberg use his Nen Beast, his arrow? I think we're about to learn a lot more about the ability here. So let's take a look. We're back with Kaiser and Mel. Okay, so we're back with this plot. Back in the office here. How is 11th Prince Fugetsu, Kaiser asks. Sleeping soundly, says Kacho. And Melody says, no wonder. She needs to rest until she recovers enough to wake up on her own. Kacho says, am I the one making her expend excess energy in thought? And Melody's like, no, never think that way. Fugetsu needs you. She won't last without you. With or without you. That's literally the name of the ability. That was the Etude of Love. And then Kaiser says, whether 9th Prince Halkenberg got himself killed or was assassinated by Benjamin, his funeral will be grand and solemn as not to offend the people. Yes, think of the people. We'll wait and see until the funeral is over and hope it ends smoothly. Meanwhile, we should prepare ourselves for whatever comes next. We know what that is. Huh? Oh. An ominous royal hallway. I think this is one of the Queen's chambers, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 302. You damn right it is. Camilla, what? Huh? Isn't this is Camilla's one of her guards, and again, I forget the name of this character, okay? Wipes off, looking in a mirror, wipes off the makeup, and excuse me? Wipes off the makeup, applies the makeup, puts on a wig, puts in contacts. Okay. Wow. Okay, so this is just getting ready for their attendance in the Nen lessons, I guess. Okay. So, wow. Hey, Togashi watching those, makeup influencer videos, those. But his wife made him do this. This might have been based on a influencer that his wife watches. I'm just kidding. Oh, they're so oh, aren't they so nice? Oh, they're such lovely people, aren't they? They're so lovely. And now Camilla's guard, one of them, oh my, that's some makeover, says, and again, I don't remember the names. This is the elder member who's helped with the have-nots and all this stuff, right? So the elder says, that's some nice makeover. And then, you've gone senile, Granny. This is who I really am. And the other one is my persona as Captain. This is who I really am. So, who you really are is up here. Is this a male character? Is this a male? Is this a trans character? It might be a trans. I actually, perhaps, really am. The other one is my persona as Captain. Huh. Just keep telling yourself that, says Grandma. And the ninth prince's death has greatly altered the situation. Are you still going with the plan? They think Halkenberg's dead, like basically everybody else. Yes. Finding the exorcist is necessary, so I want to expose them ASAP. It's better if there aren't any, but we have to assume there is and search. Their curse ability gets super countered by an exorcist. They need to get rid of it. What if it's Abagane? Can you imagine if we bring Abagane back right now? That would be amazing. Poor Abagane. We need to tailor our response to the type of exorcist we find. The type of exorcist. That is implying, once again, how Togashi overcomplicates everything. Like with manipulation, there's like 1,000 different ways to manipulate through manipulator powers. It's probably a million ways to do exorcism. So the type of exorcist we find, they're planning on how to, whatever they find, they're going to figure out how to deal with it. Granny says, how many days do you need to accumulate the curse for Wobble? A whole week. If we're in different rooms and I can't see them. If I get lucky, they let their guard down and I get close enough, I'll kill her on the spot. I think Wobble's Nen Beast is going to go bat shite. I think Wobble's Nen Beast is going to wring this woman out to dry. In that case, have Keiko take over for me. Okay, here I go. We're 10:14. Whoa, jump. We're jumping. We're jumping. We're now at 10:14. We're at the Nen lessons, as I thought would happen. We're right back at the Nen lessons post Longhe, and Camilla's guard are involved. Oh, there's my duo, Baba Mania and Fury. We got Kimmy guard. I don't know what. I forget her name, and I don't want to look up like names online because a spoiler pops up like from Reddit or some shit. Oh, do you remember she died? Like I want to get spoiled. We'll learn after the chapter. Bill Oito is sleeping, and there's Bill Wobble, and what's her name? Shimano, the very sketchy maid who knows a little too much, right? And then we got the Three Stooges. Well, no, Karapika ain't no Three Stooge, but we got the three hunters, overseeing the ceremony. So is Karapika giving the announcement? Maybe. Karapika time, everybody. Workshop, second round. Current participants, 18. So we're whittling down the participants, I believe. Based on the results of the previous round, a plurality of participants requested that we continue with the lessons. So some diplomacy. Oh, look who's in the background. Verlente, also known as Hisoka. Bro, the stocks for Hisoka Verlente are so high right now because Hisoka knows what's going on in Tier 1. Oh, boy. And Fury and Baba Mania. Karapika says, I will have the intro class be able to use Nen within 2 weeks. My dude. That's my guarantee, just like last time. I guarantee no money back, all money back. No. Now, Fury says, which one of us watches over the intro class? Are you sure you don't need a primer? And Baba Mania says, you, of course, the prince thinks you need it. No, seriously, you need it. And then we have a bubble here. Karapika saying, I've decided to increase the class size and split it into an introductory class and a beginner class. So introductory is less proficient than beginner, I'm assuming, in this context. I'm assuming. Beginner means like you already know the basics, and introduction means you're just getting started with the basic principles. Cami Guard right in the middle there. Hello, Cami Guard. Text wall. Graphica says, I promise the beginner class that you will master the basics of one of the 4 exercises per week. Furthermore, in the intro class only, I plan to allow an extra student per prince whose agendas align with ours. And a good play by Karapika to figure out what the other princes are getting at. Now, Camilla's guard here, yeah, you got to play the game, or else he's going to sniff your shit out. So Karapika says, please confirm over the phone whether they desire to fill the extra slot. The beginner class will be a month long, but you can always drop out. Now, Fury goes into his head. We're thinking internally here. And he says, the basics of the 4 exercises in 1 month? That's an unthinkable pace under normal training. But it's not impossible. With a literal kickstart, like getting hit. Remember, like a wing made it fast? And that was about a month, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Like Karapika might use the Heavens Arena approach here, right? If the succession battle stalemate continues for another month, the beginners will become bona fide Nen users. They would no longer be defenseless cannon fodder. Or are you sweating there, Fury? Are you a little concerned about your proficiency in Nen? Did it take you like 8 months to learn the basics? Fury continues. He's increasing the number of recruits. In addition to equalizing military strength, it'll spread out the guards in the other princes' quarters and include the succession battle as a whole towards the more defensive contest. Powering up the bases, aligning with your allies, kind of making it diplomatic. That's what Karapika's approach here is, so that not one camp can have a decisive advantage. It's been the theme for the entire arc. He says, Oh, God, that's a Hisoka type of response. Mr. Bellere, I think I call him Berle. Berlente, Hunter 13th Prince's Guard. So I actually am saying the official translation's grammar is a little messed up here. Like they're missing punctuations and stuff. They're missing like commas and interest, but I can read it. And then this new character, I don't recall ever seeing Ness over here. Literally looks like adult Ness. Okay, all right. So Ness here says, didn't people get murdered during the previous workshop? Yeah, silent majority. And they still haven't found out who did it? Will we be safe this time? Safe? Berlente says, honestly, I don't know, but I don't think they'll go after you. Do let me know right away if you see a girl in a mask. Yeah, V for Vendetta over here. We got the two maids here. Does it feel like your skin has cleared up and my shoulders are less stiff? I know. I still get tired, but I feel more energy. Ilardia and Laudulus. We got the 11th Prince's servants that made it to the beginner class. So they are a little bit more advanced with the Nen. Sixth, and then we have two others. We have Rockley, and her name is Yuri. Sixth Queen Seiko, oh, Tyson's camp, keeps denying it. But if the soldiers tried to seal the area, then 10th Prince Cacho is no longer. We just do as we're told. So we have new. So we have 10th Prince Servant, but then we have Yuri who's in the beginner class. So I believe only Yuri is in the class, if I'm reading this correctly, unless they screwed up the text. So we have Ilardia, Togashi, you son of a gun, Laudulus, Yuri, and Ilardia are in the beginner class. 3 maids, servants, whatever, similar concept. So we have 11th and 10th Prince, and they're getting like worried about Cacho's situation. That's not good. No one needs to know that shit. Then we have, if the extra person, we have these 2 guards down here. We have Satobi and Havedi. I'm going to call him Havedi, not Javedi. I think it's Havedi and Satobi. Satobi's been around for a while. If the extra person we're guarding is a guard, like Jato, it must mean Nen is that powerful. And Satobi says, yes. 7th Prince Luzerus desires to watch and wait until all the mob trouble has settled down. This is a great opportunity for us. You know what happens. I mean, martial law, the mob situation goes to hell and high water. Morena and the troop just burn that thing to the ground, and you know it. So, like, your wait and see approach, you're going to wait and see disaster is what you're going to see, my friend. Satobi continues. We're with Second Queen Dwazel now. But no matter which prince becomes king, all of us will face restructuring. Gaining this skill will significantly impact our options. Yep. Also, Havedi is with Luzerus. Satobi is with Camilla. Excuse me. Well, the queen, no, Sep, they're both with Luzerus, but Dwazel's the parent. Right, okay. And then Havedi says, yeah, and it would be valuable to get in contact with Second Prince Camilla's personal guards here. Oh, yeah. Get in touch with them. Have a tea party. She is. She's one of the maids, right? She could be a spy. Sarah Hell, thank you. We got the name drop at least. Thank you. She's Captain Ginyu, literally Captain Ginyu of Camilla's army. 14th Prince Wobble is in the master bedroom, Sarah Hell says. I'm closer than I thought. I might be able to get my hands on something she used. So 5 days may be enough. Oh, you creeping. Look at this dude's head. This dude, it must be a hat. It has to be a hat. He's wearing some sort of weird hat, right? That's not his head. That's not his head, is it? We have, Temptori. I remember Temptori. Okay. Yeah, 3rd Prince's personal guard beginner class. More people. Along with the joint declaration of surrender with 5th Prince Tubepa, this is a strategy to induce chaos and defend via obfuscation. He's on the phone. Temptori is on the phone. It's unwise to reduce personnel in room 1003. Any further, Your Highness? We could always invite Prince Woble's party to dinner. Oh, it's lovely. After the workshop is over. We'd rather not have it reported to First Prince Benjamin that we've become good friends. I've been waiting for this answer. The Mafia will take care of the armed conflict in the end anyway. Does that not sound like beyond? Does that not sound? They are so damn sure of this stuff, man. That I will deal with it, my son. Like, you just be a nice prince and flip your coins. I'm doing all the work behind the scenes. The mob, Morena, everything is tied together. Or it's the troop. If the troop and the mob in this weird dichotomy actually benefit each other somehow, then like deactivating the war would allow the mob to go crazy. If you think about it, right? Like if you deactivate the rules of the war, the mob can go wild. And that's exactly what, like, they take that advantage, right? So Tempstory continues. I don't need to share this special ability with any more rivals in this rat race. Oh, that's Zhonglei speaking on the phone, not revealing his coin ability. And then Tempstory says, I understand, leave things to us. Sakata is here anyway. We could get him to take the class. And then Mayor says, I may be prepared to use Nen, but I'm still basically powerless against First Prince Benjamin's personal guards, and all I can do is keep improving myself and highlighting our collaboration with Zhonglei to Benjamin. Benjamin's personal guards must have noticed the appearance of Fifth Prince Tubepa's Nen Beast. Yeah. This will, Rihan. This will act as a deterrent for a while. In the meantime, we'll invite Karapika over for training. I can't be choosy if the prince is in danger. Karapika looking on at Maurer, saying, he's monologuing internally, but Karapika looks over. He thinks Alkenberg is dead. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, shit. Karapika, you're getting played, boy. You're getting played. The prince whom I'm hoped to make a stepping stone to connect with Saridnik. We never found out the secret to that ability that produced that tremendous rumbling. He didn't die of illness. He must have been assassinated. Thinking. And right before the trial with Benjamin, it's obvious, but there won't be any proof. I'm not keen on it, but I must consider using the truth of his death as a starting point to instigate the general public into chaos? Karapika is going to incite a riot from the lower floors? Marshal Wait a minute. Karapika? Karapika's the one who... Is Karapika the one who infects Ben? Oh, like maybe not directly, but like through planning, Karapika is saying, I need to get the public going crazy. I need to incite a riot through this event. Karapika continues, he was a deterrent for the higher princes and a symbol of hope. Karapika is going to take this, run with it. He's going to go, oh, wow. He's running a political campaign here. Holy crap. Just having his personal guards in the room produced the right amount of tension mixed with a sense of security. Now that it's gone, I wanted to stoke the uncertainty felt by the higher ranked princes, even if doing so increases risk. But no other prince would want to send more of their people to 1014. Okay, Sir Hell. You... All right, guards talking. I'm Gipper. Assigned to Tier 1 to replace Borkson. Is there anything to take note of for taking on Muhan's role? Yeah, don't die. If more of us get killed, the prince won't stay silent and he'll start blaming me. And just when his attention has been pulled away from me, he's thinking, like, yeah. Great job. Couldn't be better. So, Karapika continues. So, we'll begin with 9 in the intro class and 9 in the beginner class. Divide into the 2 groups. All right, we're doing division. I'd rather be here than keep taking the 6 bitches abuse. I don't like it, but anything to help 6th Queen Seiko. Let's work hard. If I can really get superhuman powers, I'll be more useful for 11th Prince Fugetsu. I'll be able to fight. Yep, Lizlura and Tonester. 10th and 11th servants. And the guy who looks like Ness is called Naipei. I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I want to go back to room 1013. Miriam. And then Gateau, 7th Prince's Guard. Just focus on learning Nen, huh? Yes, and Tufty's like, yeah, yes. Avoid going off on your own. Waiting it out is the way for us to safely and surely improve our status. And Gateau says, you mean you, not us. The princes keep dying, and our target is a freaking baby. How long could this take? What idiot would pass up the chance? It's a path to a sure promotion. This guy's a freaking hitman. This guy's freaking, he's a Sopranos member. Hey, I got to kill the kid. You know, it is what it is. We're mentioning silent majority in plot. Oh my God, we're actually mentioning it. Holy moly. If the snake charmer is among us and attacks another one of Saridnik's personal guards, we may go to court. Is there a slight possibility Saridnik would appear to the court hearing? And then Karapika continues, those in the intro class, clasp your hands any way you want. For the beginner class, I'm passing out a black piece of paper. This dude, can I say something? Wait a minute. He's kind of tall. I'm Slaka, affiliated with 2nd Queen Dwazel. I want to join the intro class. Slaka, 3rd Prince's Guard. Huh? And then Karapika says, I don't mind. Remember, I'm always wondering who Hisoka is, right? Is he as tall as Hisoka? He's the tallest one in that panel. He has spiky hair. And he's a weird last-minute entry. That feels like Hisoka, doesn't it? Oh, hey, can I do it? Can I play? Yeah, can I play? I'd love to just have some fun. Karapika's like, sure. Affiliated with Queen Dwazel. So you're 2nd Prince Camilla's Royal Guard. Nope, Slaka says, 3rd Prince Zhonglei's Guard. If I'm going to stand here, I might as well learn something. But, yo, the detail is crazy on this guy. Whoa! Zhonglei, a watchdog for a lower-ranked prince, left his post? That's unthinkable. If he's here monitoring to gain something important. Hisoka, there's a chance this is Hisoka. Is he here monitoring to gain something important? If they're going to leave us out of the loop, we should reconsider the treaty. You idiot! You're giving them unnecessary information. Is he trying to destroy the relationship we're trying to build? Oh man, maybe not. Yeah, so They're all kind of confused. Bastard. He's doing this on purpose. Ominous. Ominous, ominous, ominous. Why, bro? Now, last time they took advantage of me being hands off and snuck around making backroom deals. If they're keeping this information on Nen that could sway the succession battle all to themselves, I ain't playing along with the we're all buddies charade. Oh, so maybe it is just Slacka. Again, I'm just having fun here, but like he has a vendetta. He left his post to one up these guys. Slacka, you sure about that, buddy? Good grief, says Karapika. As some of you may have noticed, he's here under special circumstances. To find out important information on Nen that could affect the results of the battle for succession. Now is as good a time as any for the announcement I'd like to talk about right here and now. So it is Karapika's announcement that we are going to hear at the end, as the end of this chapter. What? Hold on, that's not a good idea. You were going to use that information to your advantage. Is that what you mean? I'm afraid it's not that kind of information. Karapika says, my wording seems to have caused a misunderstanding. I'm sorry. It was possible to interpret what I said to mean only the prince who had the information would benefit. And Slack is like, wait a minute, how else were we supposed to take it? Allow me to explain, says Karapika. On the ship, we're in the middle of a succession battle to determine the next Kakin king. An aberrant process where the sole survivor inherits the throne, which begs the basic question. Why go to such lengths? The cause they're fighting for, needless to say, is for the prosperity of a nation. Kakin, a king to lead more than 1 billion people. We know it's 1 billion. The ritual, it's China, baby. I called it earlier. It's China. The ritual to facilitate this decision has a more than adequate mandate to go to such lengths. Nen further maximized the results and validated the ritual. That's how it all began. The use of a Nen ability with its vows and limitations empowered the leadership of the next king. Because they triumphed through such a brutal competition, it virtually guaranteed prosperity for the next generation. Nen is that powerful. Look at this freaking site. Forget Maryland. Look at the size of this place and this crowd. Look at it, man. Karapika says, when I say vows and now we're getting spicy. When I say vows and limitations, this is a key aspect of Nen. Oh boy, do you know that? When Nen is brought to bear using strict rules that put people at great risk, the power of the effect is multiplied. Dude, Karapika's going his route. He's gonna get these guys like vows and shit. Oh, bro, Karapika, whoa, buddy. You're gonna have an Uvogin level guy in here. Whoa, hold on a minute. The act of sacrificing the lives of kin down to a single successor demonstrates considerable determination and carries the risk of wiping out the entire clan. And that's the level of determination required to demonstrate the intent of proceeding with this ritual. We've only reached the second phase of this process. Whoa. There are 4 phases of the ritual, which, powered by Nen, make up the battle for succession. Excuse me. Dedication and prayer to the gods. Making an offering to the gods, the blood. a celebration of the spirits of the dead. Post-mortem, all this dead shit we're going with. Theocracy, the unity of a state, sacrifice, and governance. Prayer for national prosperity and pray for national prosperity. I misread this. Sorry. Let's start over. Dedication and prayer to the gods. Pray for national prosperity and pledge a vow. He's implying that the ceremony is a Nen vow, which makes it extremely dangerous. Making an offering to the gods, sacrifice the lives of kin as testament to their commitment. Sacrificial offering. A celebration of the spirits of the dead. Gather together the bodies of the princes who died and form a sacred energy convergence, the chamber. Theocracy, the unity of state, sacrifice, and governance. With the massive power generated, administer the affairs of state. Political power. It's critical that the succession proceed the way it does. Without these risks, the new leadership would lack the necessary power for governance, meaning sufficient men to maintain the spirit beast of a king worthy of leading the people. Nasubi just went up. If you didn't think, in my tier list, he's number 8 for me. If you didn't think this guy was top 10 on this boat, I think Togashi's illustrating the point pretty clearly here. That Nen Beast is empowered by winning the ceremony. And they're too the king that owns that Nen Beast. Oh my goodness. This limitation is the important information that will affect the results of the succession battle. The limitation information? The vow limitation. I think it's like, why is it sacrificial? Why are the rules exactly the way they are? Why does it work this way? There's a limitation. Okay. It will take 2 months for the Black Whale to arrive at the new continent, and 12 days have already passed. Well, for us, it's been a decade plus. We have a month and a half left. The ceremony in which the current king will formally announce which prince will succeed him is scheduled for right after we disembark. The deadline for resolving the succession battle is the end of the voyage. Determining the successor within that time is non-negotiable. If there is no sole survivor by the deadline and the ritual fails completion, the family will fall, of course. If we kill everybody and there is no winner, the whole family dies. The Nen just, the hands probably go out and, probably, whoa. Do the hands like go out and kill all their relatives and shit like Nanika style? Ooh. Fall from power, a change of government. He said dictatorship. You. Oh shit, we reformed ourselves. Oops. The ability to adapt through the ages and manipulate the masses are enhanced by Nen. Without this, it would be inevitable. Wouldn't the risk guard, again, these guards are all talking in between Kurapika. I'll just say guard when they talk and then Kurapika when he talks. This is guard. Wouldn't the risk be greater if failing to meet the deadline resulted in everyone's death? Why a fall from power and not annihilation? Kurapika says, the concept of a sole survivor already fulfills the vow to put lives on the line. You're banking on the ceremony succeeding, like in principle. The vow is that it succeeds as a practice, as a ritual. The ritual fails, and Karapika says, depriving all choices during the ritual would be enforcement. That's the opposite of a Nen limitation. Whoa. 1 month, 18 weeks, 13 days, 46 hours, 29 minutes. A choice must be left open for them to not carry out the ritual to completion. It's part of the risk that more than one prince is allowed to survive. So Karapika is literally understanding there is a way out when we know that Ben has a plot to end this thing prematurely. And so it must be special approval from the existing king, something like that. Leaving this avenue for the weaker participants puts the ritual itself in a vulnerable position. This way, the risk that the ruler may fall to ruin is hidden in the time limit. Fury's like, you're bringing this up? You're basically egging us on to hurry up and kill those lower princes. Everyone's muttering to themselves. And one more thing, I have another crucial announcement. No hiatus next week. Oh, Karapika, man. He's a funny man, you know. Huh? 14th Prince Wobble is not eligible for the succession battle, huh? Where are you going with this, Togashi? Like, no one in the community foresaw this proclamation. Nobody. I don't think anyone, like, this is what Togashi does better than anybody else. Is this Karapika bluffing? Is this Karapika really having figured something out? Has Oito said something that he figured out? Everyone's like, what? Oito. Oito's the prince. No, wait a minute. Hang on. Wait. Wait a minute. Did Nasubi marry his daughter? Oh, no. Oh, no. No. No, not an incest plot. No. Beyond's kid, it's back. Oh, no. That means Oito is the prince. There's no fucking way that. Are you. Right? I mean, we have to guess, but what else could it be? Oh my God. Like, so she's Beyond's kid. Yeah? Oito? So, like, let me break this out, right? Beyond had a kid with a queen. One of the other queens, secretly. That is a child of a royal queen. And then Nasubi married and had a child with Oito. Yes, that would mean that Oito is a child of succession, secretly from beyond, possibly, but then Nasubi married her unknowingly or because of Beyond's plan. Did they find a curse mark on her tongue? And that's why we love Togashi. That's why we love Togashi. That's why, everybody. That's why we love Togashi. Did they find a Beyond curse mark on her tongue? That's why Beyond's my GOAT, man. I'm telling you, he's everything about this arc. Like, his influence is everywhere, man. So his child could be Oito, and she could be actually the 14th prince. Secretly. This is just her baby that Nasubi forced her to have. But Beyond set it up so that his daughter could be in the succession war as the viable participant, but not actually participating in the war, if that makes sense, right? Holy crap. That was a great ending. That was nuts. The way he did that and showed her face, oh my God. Oh, man. So there we go. We are back. Thank you all for stopping by. And here we are. So thank you all for your comments. I'm looking at them right now. I'm going to go through them. And now we have a live discussion. So this is a time where we can just talk about the story and have fun. And, you know, it would be interesting to see. So thank you all for your comments and for being here. Chris Viva says, it would be interesting to see how Abagane dealt with Kurapika's curse. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. And I think because Togashi made Abagane like the master exorcist, it would be interesting to like involve him again in the story. It'd be pretty cool to bring him back. So we go. Following the broadcast. Beginner classes are those who took the previous class. Introductory classes are the brand new people. Okay. So yeah, just the round 2, round 1. Okay. Makes sense. Everyone planning and politicizing by themselves. So Viva Revolution, yep. Lizu and Toaster Fugetsu, greatest heroines. Yeah, we're getting lots of the servants are getting involved now in the Nen class. Any one of these characters could do something funky. You know, like it doesn't matter. Character X, character Y. All of a sudden, they push a button and they blow up a, you know. Togashi does that. He just does that. Some random character, you won't remember their name, but they do something shady. Like they, hey, Illumi, they're over here. Like you just never know. Lisa Fugetsu, greatest heroines. AB, I'm reading your comment right now. What do you think of the theory that silent majority is Oito's ability? I think you're nuts. No, I think it's actually fantastic. Well, if it's her ability, and we have Beyond's influence here, I'd be very intrigued. But wow. Yeah, Oito's ability, man. Chris says, it wouldn't be that way. Even if Oito is Nasubi's daughter. No, what I'm saying, Chris, is that It's not Nasubi's daughter. She's Beyond's daughter of one of Nasubi's wives. That makes her eligible because you just need to be a child of the queen, not Nasubi. So just the queen counts. So Beyond's child with a queen is a valid succession war participant. Then secretly, she was introduced as a eligible wife for Nasubi. That's the play. That could be the play here, which would be really interesting. The ritual needs children of legal wives, and Wobble would still be. Well, I think the point is, did she actually do the seed urn? That's the so she did the seed urn because I think we saw an NB show up. But if she is right, because you see what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying now, right? It's weird. This is where it gets funky. This is where it gets funky. All right, like I don't know. Unless Kurapika's making up some bullshit, which he could be. But it's a very interesting plot point. We have to see where it goes. Togashi could go crazy with it. Wendy says, just going to say that Kurapika has done this the whole arc, where he's mixed some major truth bombs and fiction to conveniently benefit Team Wobble. Yeah. But frankly, that declaration seems very, like you have to be really certain about it, because it would be very easy to punch holes in that proclamation. And then showing, unless Wobble is like in on the plan to lie about this, and they're going in with a big lie. It's another way it could be going. But her face at the end, that said everything I needed to see. Like, everything is not what it seems. So, like, if they found Beyond's curse on Oito's tongue, that's all you need to know. You're done. Like, that's it. So, we have, look at, Togashi's going to explain ultimately how he wants to do this and what the situation is. We just know that if Kurapika is going to make a proclamation that decisive, there has to be convincing evidence that if the other characters found out that evidence to like test the theory, that it would pass their test. So how could he set up fake evidence that Wobble is not eligible for the war? That's the point I'm trying to make here. If it's fake, if it's a lie, what did he do? What did they do to craft that lie and plant that fake evidence? That's my only point. We will see what happens. Agromox, how are you? There might be a pattern behind this. Kurapika and Prince Sarainik, the Beast with number 666, and Hisoka. I love number games. You know that. I was going off on the Hisoka chapter. Oh my gosh. I still hold that as one of my top chapters of modern Hunter x Hunter. Just Hisoka in a casino is all I need. I just need to see him playing cards, and I need to see him talking about his sexual desires. Rolling jackpot, rigging the games. He's not into bestiality like this. If you see an author writing a character that way, they're having a blast with that character. They just love that character. So you got to put more weight on that character. AB says, Togashi specifically said the requirement was a lawful wife. What if Wobble was born before Oito became his lawful wife? Well, this is where things get tricky. That would mean that unbeknownst to Nasubi, they had either it was like a surrogate situation, right? Someone else's seed, or like they somehow swapped the babies in the hospital and like he didn't know. Like that would be one of those situations because Nasubi, allegedly, this is all intended that Wobu is the 14th prince. And remember, at the beginning of this arc, Oito was very secretive as well in the advertisement. So she's a real schemer. So you can see that it's likely she might have been playing games up to this point, even with Nasubi and her status. This plot could go in a lot of directions. I'm actually very excited now thinking about all the possibilities. He could do so much with this idea. Chris says, the most likely lie is that Kurapika would tell the others that Wobu is Beyond's bastard child, as other characters don't know about the legal wife wording importance. Are you sure they don't know that, though? I think it's a pretty known fact about the rights of succession, that they have to be the legitimate children of the legal wives, king or not. It's who the wives give birth to. There's actually, it's interesting. There's some religious context there. There's some religions where it's really the mother that determines the faith of the child. In all the arguments of that child's, identity, right? So there's an idea there too. But artificial insemination, all these things, all this manipulation, Beyond could have hatched a devious plot where all these children are being secretly had and switched out, and you have all the we don't know the depths this could go. This is why, if what Kurapika said is true, oh my gosh. But if it's a lie, it has to be a great lie with great evidence that throws people off. So whatever it is, the bastard child is possible, but they have to find a way to make that a compelling narrative. I'm just saying, the face of Oito at the end was Now, reaffirming what I said back in 401 and the last batch, the succession war is a crazy Nen power. We have vows and limitations canonically confirmed. We know for a fact that it is a vow that is putting the stakes of the ceremony on the line. And if the contestants, kind of like the Squid Games, if the contestants find out the secrets to the games, they can destroy it and the leaders from within. It's kind of like that. So we have this plot where now we could have the right scenario to destroy the process, whatever that means. And knowing the future context, martial law, and Ben's plan, that could be a workaround that literally follows what Kurapika is talking about here. So there are outs to this game. They just have to use special laws and special circumstances to bypass the ceremony, which would put the Nen ability at risk and possibly destroy the entire We Go Row line. The way he said it, what's the extent of that? So Halkenberg, right? Halkenberg wanted to end the ceremony, and every prince died, even Saradnik. Literally dies because somebody found out the secret of the war, and Saradnik never even got a chance to do anything. Can you imagine if we killed Saradnik passively because we stopped the ceremony, and he has no control over that, realistically? That would be such a Togashi move. Oh, you can see the future? See this. You know? AB, not to mention, we haven't even seen Pariston. What the heck is he planning? Pariston is playing Connect 4. Can you imagine him just laughing? I like that play. It's a play that a really smart person would do. I need to see Pariston and Ahsoka play a game of cards. That is something on my bucket list. I need to see Pariston and Ahsoka at a table, gambling, trying to outwit each other in a game of poker. I would love that. I would read 100 pages of that. I read a whole fight between Pariston and Ahsoka at a card table. Oh my God. Another theory out there, because Chris, was that Wobble is Benjamin's daughter, and the prince with the first queen is the real 14th prince? That's spicy. That's super spicy. That's super spicy. My question, though, is this. What was that ominous aura coming out of Wobble? We know it's there. What is that Beyond's curse? What is that ominous black aura that looks like, Beelzebub is going to come out? Like, what is that shit, man? What is that? Bowl's going to come out of there. That stuff was freaky. We know that Wobble can produce it, so man, oh man, oh man. I'm actually kind of glad that we had all of the Nen lesson stuff right now. That gets us through all the guards talking in their stuff. Not that I hate that. I actually do enjoy reading all of the perspectives. I don't memorize names unless the character matters. Now I know, like, several different Prince camps have 2 participants that are either beginners or they're at the intro level, and they're now like, oh, I got to find out this power and help my prince. I really don't care. We'll know when to care, like if a character does something or says something pretty crazy. But until then, it's all just plot progression, and just let it happen and enjoy it. Like, watch all the characters plotting, like Slacka, like watching him go, oh, those bastards last time. Oh, I'm just gonna prove them wrong. This, like, you saw the inner character motivation. Like, he's spiteful of the other guards. So, like, there's some nice characterization there, but I don't really care. I care about Oito and like all that stuff. Yes. I'm going to ask for people who are still here. Comment on what do you think we're getting with this batch now that we know this is going back pre-martial law? What do you think we're going to see? Major points. You don't have to talk about little guards and stuff. Like, what are the major things? Do you think we're going to see Borkson kill somebody? Do you think we're going to see Hisoka kill Benolanov? Do you think Unyor is going to reveal a grand scheme? Because I got to tell you, Zhong Wei basically said, it's all going to be handled by the mob. Pretty confident. Pretty confident statement, pre-martial law. So what do you guys think? What's your thoughts? And while you do that, I'm just going to pour another beverage. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, let's take a look here and see what we've got. Any other comments here? Any other thoughts about the situation? So, AB says, do you think Fugetsu was cursed by Camilla's guards? I think what they were saying, AB, is that it was Luzurus's Nenbeast. Because it can trap people, and then like she might have sprung one of his traps trying to use the tunnel ability. But initially I thought it was possibly Camilla's curse. But Benjamin allegedly like pushed away some of the spirits, which kind of contradicts how powerful Camilla's curse is. Like Camilla's curse is supposed to be like unless you exercise this thing, it will kill you. No questions asked. You are dead. So I don't know. Windy says, Kurapika's revelation about the time limit to choose a successor before landfall may also be a dog whistle to those secretly desiring the end of Kakeen and giving them a platform. Yes. Linking that also to the riots and the revolution he kind of wants to inspire in the public. Absolutely. He's trying to find anti-Kakeen sympathy. He's trying to start kind of like a socialist movement within the rules and confines of the situation. Absolutely. I agree 100%. AB, I think Kaiser will play a major role. Also, the Luzurus plan that Melody is planning something will go horribly wrong. Maybe they'll all get really high and forget everything that happened. Melody's like, hey, can I have a gummy? Or like 12 gummies? Melody on gummies, bro. She's going to be playing some sick freaking tunes. I'll tell you what. She's going to be playing some crazy songs. No Way Out says, I think Shizuku will die before Bono. Whoa, big. Put your bets down. Put your bets down right now. Who's the first spider to go? How about Bonolanov as Shizuku? Oh, man. Chris says, I'm willing to bet that we won't have martial law for another 8 chapters. I agree 100%. I doubt that we are going further in the plot. This is all, I think right now, Togashi wants to focus on Kurapika's Nenless and stuff. I think we're going back to like the 360s and 70s. A lot of these, look at all the characters he just introduced. All these little insignificant characters, but that's Togashi's style. So we are now exploring these little characters. We're building new plots and motivations within these smaller characters, giving them a platform, maybe finding some anti-Kakeen revolution within these people, right? He's building some seeds around that. I mean, those 2 maids, they mentioned like, oh, that freaking 6-queen bitch, like a 6-queen bitch. Whoa, you want to get hung? You say it to her face and they'll just burn you alive. So like, no, there's some sentiment out there amongst these characters. They don't like the authority figures. So we definitely have a revolution style plot going on here. Windy says, how do you think the sacred treasures that Grollo is after figure into the vows? Wonderful question. I think the seed urn is the sacrifice to the gods, right? The gods being the ancestors of the founders of Kakeen. Let's like make it very patriarchal, very hierarchical. The founding members of Kakeen enshroud themselves with postmortem Nen, and if you sacrifice to them, you will bestow, so the first king is that character in theory, but there also could be like the actual founders of the country, like even pre-kingdom perhaps. But I do think that the Lotus Anchorite is the king of Kakeen's corpse. if you're talking about a godly figure that's basically God in this situation, and that being enforces the ceremony's rules. That is really where the vow would live. The original king's will in making sure the rules of this war are followed. If you break through the rules and the vow of the ceremony, you destroy the king's will, the original king's will. So I think that is where, in your question there, I think the vow is with the Lotus Anchorite. The Sword of Omens is only given to the winner, and they inherit, likely, all of the Nen that was used by their siblings in those coffins. The sword, it's a great sword, King Arthur style, right? But all of like the Nen and all of it goes into the sword and blesses the winner, and then they have, to what Karapika said, the ultra powerful Nen beast and Nen to rule the entire kingdom, right? So I think that's the theming of it, but we will see. Togashi can always do the Togashi classic, right? We don't know. Chris says, greatest theory. Wulbul will be revealed to be a time-traveling baby daughter of... I need to get some chewables right now. Remember my theory about Cyrenic being from the future? Yeah. I actually thought about, like, Cyrenic's a future Kakin king, and he sent himself back in time because he wanted to do something differently. And so he sent himself back, but forgot all of his future memories. So he's relearning all of his Nen that he unlocked as King of Kakin, the greatest king ever to live. Oh, man. But Wulbul time traveling, oh my God. No Way Out says, could Krollo stealing a treasure affect the contest? Oh my God, No Way Out, absolutely. Here's the thing, though. We don't know what stealing a treasure even means. Because Krollo could use his Fun cloth, steal it. However, can you steal them? They are, excuse me, as Karapika alluded to, and as I've thought for a long time, they're so powerful. They are curses, vowed Nen. These are godly artifacts. If you touch one being of non-royal lineage, will it just absorb your soul? Like, how can you even, does Krollo really know what he's getting into? That's my response to that. Not that what happens when you steal one. It's like, can you steal one? Who knows? We will find out soon, though. So I've been on for, I'm going to stay on for a little bit longer, guys. I'm having a lot of fun. Just like we're back and talking about this. Keep on coming. If you get your comments and thoughts, I'd love to. AB says, I predict Fugetsu will die. I think that's possible. You know, well, actually, okay, wait a minute. Thanks. I'm going to actually mention something about some theories I have going in. I'm going to put some more theories out into the Hunter x Hunter verse, okay? But that's possible, 100%. Also, didn't Ben say at 410 only? Yes, he did. Death or imprisonment. Yes, it could. That's what I was going crazy about in 410. Why only 4? And he has to get all of that. Like, so there's only 4 left. There's some on the run. What the fuck's going on? Like the numbers and the summary and the numbers were like, what's going on? We might find out at the very end of this batch what he meant by that. I think we're going to end on another cliffhanger that we learn where Halkenberg and Cyrenic are, if that's the situation. You know, where Karapika is in all this. Miriam, is he still safe in his dimension? Knowing Wulbul and Oito now, like, oh, what does that do? What does that do with this? Like, who knows, right? So, Spencer says, not going to lie, I don't know what Wobble is not eligible means. Well, that it's either a lie to save her life or it's a truth, which means that she's not actually a daughter of a queen. It means that she's Oito's daughter, but there's some weird stuff going on about like what that means. Chris said it could also depend very much on which one he steals for Crollo, as the urn likely finished its function by manifesting the Nen Beasts. But Chris, I actually disagree, because I think that when, first of all, every ceremony, the urn is used to give a Nen Beast to a participant. I think, and actually based on the worm toxin, the actual theming of that is putting insects in a jar and having them fight. Which one's stronger? I think all the Nen Beasts and their spirits, they might go back into the urn as Nen, and then they can do the ceremony again next time. I think there's a lot of Nen stored back into the urn as the contest happens, but we'll see. I don't know. In terms of it giving Nen Beasts, I think you're right. I think it served its purpose. But to that point, it still always gives Nen Beast and is part of the ritual, so it has to be extremely powerful. We will see. No Way Out says, I hope we get a whole chapter of Crollo sneaking and killing on his way to the treasure. Yeah, just use a ballpoint pen there. Beep, beep. Just penning people in the head. It's just a bunch of pens. Oh, Crollo. And then indoor fish. Yo, bro, the dude's going to pull out indoor fish. Indoor fish in this environment. Broken. Broken. Spencer, do you think we'll see any chimera? No. Not that I wouldn't want to. Oh, man. Oh, no. There's Bloster. There he is. He swam on the boat. Bloster was following them the whole time. Surprise! No, Bloster's likely defending that village with Reyna. Oh, I'd love to see that again. You visit the village and there's Bloster and Reyna together. Oh. Peak. All right, I'm going to list some of my theories out from like brainstorming before we got back to this. Here's one of my theories. It involves Fugetsu. Fugetsu is going, well, I'll put it this way. Kacho Ghost is going to save Fugetsu by sacrificing her Nen. Whatever the hell that means. I'm not trying to like answer the question here. I'm proposing it. Kacho Nen Beast saves Fugetsu's life, but in the process has to reveal the truth that she is no longer alive, that her sister's actually dead, and that she's giving her all of the Nen to protect her, right? And then dies officially in spirit. Kacho then awakens the ability to use her tunnel as her own Nen ability. And that tunnel could be the escape tunnel that the characters that matter, they rush that, they get to the new continent, the whole boat sinks. But it's a race to get to Fugetsu's tunnel. And it's a race to the finish line. So, and on the way, people are fighting and killing, but the tunnel has like a time limit on it. She can make the tunnel and open it, and Kurapika and everybody is trying to get off the damn boat as the black whale sinks and all the people, but they get off because of Fugetsu. That's one of my theories. Or we end up on some random island. Whoops. Forgot, couldn't make it, but we. And then we go to Survivor. Then we have literally Survivor the show. You already know that Beyond is like the GOAT. I've already talked about that ad nauseum. But, he might actually leave via like some way of flying. I don't know how. I don't know why, but like him flying over everybody, that to me would be so symbolic. He flies away. He's just above everybody else. Thematically and visually, it would be really cool if Beyond flew out of this war to the Dark Continent on a dragon or some shit. A real dragon. Like the one Jing was, but something where he just gets out by flying away. I don't know. No Way You says, I mean, the Chimera Ants must come back eventually, right? Yeah, with the gyro stuff, but we're not there. And Periston, that is going to be solely for Gyro's focus. And Gyro is not on this boat. Gyro is not here. Gyro might take over Meteor City while the troop are on this boat. Chris says, will Periston have, for a reason, at least likely it is not for trolling? Will Periston have the, for a typo maybe, at least likely it is not for trolling? Right now, I'm not actually focused on Periston or Jing at all. They're not in the plot. Until they are, I don't care. So gosh, when they are in the plot, we will care. Until then, there's nothing to care about. I know it's painful. We've been waiting for years. I mean, why doesn't Leorio join them? The three invisible characters. Let's just have them all have a podcast about, you can't see them, but you can hear them, right? Like Leorio, Periston, and Jing. And Jing and Periston, Jing and Leorio are arguing, and Periston's like, you two goobers. Like, call me crazy, but would Jing save Beyond? Oh, yes, absolutely. He's number 2, remember? Jing just shows up. Oop, did I open that door up? Sorry. Oh, whoopsie. Oh, boy, I'm so clumsy, aren't I? Chris, another interesting theory is whatever Cacho is dead, as Nasubi said to Camilla in The Sole Survivor. Yeah, if the Nenbeast counts as a survivor, because the king keeps their Nenbeast, so can a Nenbeast win the war? There's a great question. There you go, Hunter x Hunter Universe. Take that one and run with it. Any one of the Nenbeasts could win the war too. Yeah. A couple more minutes here, guys. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. It's so good to be back. Here's what I'll say about next week. Next week's going to be a little tricky with the holiday, July 4th, if you're not in the States. So I'm out. I am likely going to have to look at Monday or even Tuesday. It really does depend on my schedule. But it will be by Tuesday night. So just like hover around. I expect in the future, it's going to be Sunday afternoon to evening. I don't have an exact time. I really don't. But throughout a Sunday afternoon, I should be online. If it's not Sunday, it's going to have to be Monday evening, most likely. July 4th is the only time where it might even be a Tuesday. So it's going to be Sundays or Mondays. Like that's the days I'm like dedicated to doing this. If it's a Monday, it's a Monday evening. So like that's my schedule. I don't really keep a tight schedule. This is not my job. I don't do this for money. This is fun. I have fun doing this. Yeah, no, but the Kacho is dead. Like, yeah, Nen Beast winning the war would be an awesome plot point. Awesome. Love if they like did that. Boy, Oito's face staring down. Oh my gosh. I don't know which way it goes. Togashi will just have to tell us. Togashi, you bastard. Like, you watch the One Piece story right now. There is literally nothing I'm like not expecting. Luffy, spoiler for One Piece if you don't want to know. Luffy just punched the new big villain in the face. Oh no, oh no, whoa, like, oh wow. And I saw people going crazy, and I'm like, oh, it's the 1,000th time he's punched the main villain right in the face. Yeah, like, oh my God. The villain's really cool, and I don't care. But the whole plot is like either they escape with their lives or they force the enemies to escape with theirs. And there's really no in between. They're not going to like, Togashi would make it like they go into a stalemate. Then they come up with political terms. Then they do a transfer. Then they put stakes on stakes on stakes on stakes. And then eventually they have a barbecue. Like, like, I don't know. It's just like Togashi does it such a different way than just our side wins or their side wins. It's hot in here. Jeez Louise. Hmm? That's weird. And Blackbeard does stuff maybe. Yeah, yeah. I find the world government characters and the Blackbeard and those, I find those characters so much more interesting than the Straw Hat Pirates. I'm sorry. No offense. I'm more interested in all the imperfections and flashing motivations. Like Kizaru on Etiquette was an awesome character to watch because he's literally crying inside as he has to act all stoic and do his mission. You know, and like he's a super powerful guy, but like he's crying under those sunglasses. And he's a light ray of sunshine, but he's crying and miserable inside. It's a beautiful contrast when you put a character like that together, right? Luffy just like is laughing and is just crazy, but there's no conflict in his character, and I love conflict is better. You see, Hunter x Hunter is a story on conflict. Everything's imperfect. Everything is reactionary. Everything is like you're one way one moment, then you're one way another moment. Then you're never one way. You're always like adapting to your environment. That is so much more real and impersonal than just the perfect hero, right? Like the perfect hero story. I'm just so tired of it. AB, it's basically confirmed that Benjamin will die. I think Prince Tyson is a dark horse, and maybe Gyro is in the lower. Yo, AB, you are ready to see the ants, bro. You are ready, bro. All right. Yo, put the chips down, man. Put those chips down. I hope that you get what you're asking for. I do. I'll tell you this. If Gyro's on this boat, this is the greatest manga of all time. You're passing berserk almost. Like if he brings in Gyro now, it's over. It's the greatest manga of all time. But it's so outrageous. It's so it takes away from Beyond being the biggest threat on this boat. And like I really think he has to be the ultimate foe for us right now. Gyro just steals all the spotlight out of nowhere, you know? It likes jazz music. Benjamin's Nen Beast. I've said this before. I actually think it's more manipulative in nature. I think that mouth, like, either it helps strum up loyalty, not like Halkenberg necessarily, but more like pure, like, that's my mission. I have to do it. There's no other. Basically, like, it sets a goal, and maybe the mouth like whispers something, and like you do it. So the goal is like, uh, it could be a coercive manipulation sort of thing, which would also contrast his hyper bulky muscularity, because Benjamin has used very little physical violence. It's all been up here. Benjamin's been using his mind, his words, his example. He blocked some bullets, but that's about it. He had one Nenflex. Big deal. He's done a lot more planning and negotiating and thinking. And so I think his Nen Beast is more like manipulating verbal in a weird way, even though he's a specialist. I think it's more that the Nen Beast is coercive in nature. Gyro, sorry, Ed, you have a very long name there. Eddie Saul. Eddie Saul says Gyro will be the final villain, Arc of Calamities. Ooh, Arc of Calamities. What if the Gyro gets the Hellbell snake? What better way than for Gyro to unleash mass casualties? That would be bad. That'd be really bad. If Gyro could like tame the Hellbell snake like a cobra, he tames it and then he unleashes it. Ooh, not good. Not good. Morena and Gyro are going to get into a love story. We're going to go into a rom-com with Gyro and Morena. Oh, you're so funny when you killed that guy. You cut off his legs. Oh, stop. When you cut out his tongue, you were so much cuter than me. Oh my God, dude. Those characters are incredible. Morena and Gyro are both victims. Yes, they are. How do you think they differ? Oh, great. AB, that's a great question. That is a wonderful question. They are similar. They are absolutely similar. I think Togashi is exploring what he put into Gyro through Morena. I don't think that Gyro was sexually abused, but he was clearly abused all the same, emotionally and physically. His humanity was stripped of him, just like Morena. And allegedly, he gains followers and influence with his power, like Morena. The one thing that differentiates Gyro at this point, to our knowledge, is that he's part Chimera Ant. So, I think he's going to be. I think while Morena wants just pure chaos and is like willing to even just die to this, I think Gyro is going to put more structure around his chaos. And it's not as much of a game to him as much as like he's creating the ultimate system to wipe out humanity. A little bit more traditional, a little bit more like he's going to use the resources at his disposal to amass power. he might use military weapons, like he might use technology. But it is clear. I think Togashi took the elements of Gyro and put them into Morena and fleshed out the ideas through Morena. I think that's the point. Yeah, the Morena and Gyro love story. Can we please do that? And Hisoka can like be a guest character. Oh, what are you two doing? Want to play cards? Jeez. Someone please, like someone use AI and do that. Morena, Gyro, and Ahsoka, please just put them in a room or in an island, whatever. I just need those three characters trapped with each other. That's it. That's all I want. Zoldyck family is in the Black Whale. Oh, yeah. So you mean like Zeno and Silva? It's not impossible. And then, again, I made that tier list assuming that Jing and Parison are not on the boat. But if the Zoldicks are on the boat, we have to rearrange the ordering a little bit. I mean, the Elder Zoldicks are still our top 5 on, of course. I still think on Betrayal Beyond outscales Zeno. I mean, but again, like it's more about like how involved he is in the plot. Like in raw combat, Zeno might be able to hold his own against Beyond, but in terms of what Beyond's done politically, like Beyond is the juice of this entire plot. All right, guys. 2 more minutes here, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up. So please leave your final thoughts. Again, next week's gonna be a little bit iffy. It's either Monday or Tuesday. I can tell you that for a fact. It's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. I do the reaction, not Sunday. I'm just not gonna be here. I'm gonna have plans. So it's Monday or Tuesday. Leave your last final thoughts as we close out here. But it's so good to be back. This is a good escape from everyday life, huh? It's fun to just chill with people and enjoy the story. AB says, in the Hunter x Hunter world, which do you think Meruem plans would have made it a little better? That's the irony, right? And the answer is maybe. You really can't know. He's still going to eat people like cattle, but fewer of them. PETA, the next chapter will be coming literally in a week. Sundays at 12 Eastern, I believe, is when officially the true scans are released. If you want to read them a little earlier, you can look at illegitimate translations and websites. I actually don't know where those live anymore, and I'm not really interested in reading the pre-official releases for the purposes of the channel here and my reactions. It's Sunday at the earliest. And I think there's going to be 1 week this summer where he takes a break because Japan has a holiday. You can look that up too, but I heard it. I think it was on the Reddit. Someone mentioned there's a break in one of the release weeks. Like I think it's in August. So there will be a week where there is no Hunter x Hunter. No, well. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Leorio's a hero, right? But he's not doing anything. Leorio's my hero. All right, guys, I am going to call it there. It has been a pleasure coming back and sharing this fun with all of you and just enjoying the story once again. We only get to do this, after every hiatus, it feels like an eternity, but as long as I can, I come back and do this just for fun and to entertain. Thanks for those who stopped by, and the Oreo is a here. Yes, he. Oreo for president. Yeah, guys, thanks as always for stopping by. And again, next week, probably Monday or Tuesday for the reaction. Okay. Please be well in the meantime, and I will see you then. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.